never gonna get there.
Finally, please finish the story this year, Cody. We can't do this again, mate.
Acknowledge me.
Hey guys, it's Luke again. Just going to do a quick review video of the 2024 Royal Rumble. Obviously, a lot of good shit went down. Show did drag in parts, but I thought largely an enjoyable show. It, I'd say it delivered. Not the, did sort of drag in some of the Rumble matches, particularly the men's. But no, I thought it was, I enjoyed it for what it was. The men's Royal Rumble was alright. Not the biggest fan of that one. I actually enjoyed the women's one a lot more than I thought it was. And dare I say, it was probably the better Rumble match of the night. Quite liked on surprises, which again is what it is. I find interesting that I see some people complaining on Twitter about like, oh, we didn't have no legends coming back, oh, there was no nostalgia pops or anything like that. Me personally, I don't have an issue with that. There's only so many times you could have a nostalgia pop with the same people over and over again. So again, not too bothered about that. That's just, well, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If the legends came back, oh, why is so-and-so taking a spot away from this guy, da da da. And then if you don't come back like they did this year, it's like, oh, there was no nostalgia pops or whatever. Not going to win. They focus on the current talent. I'm cool. I thought the arena, I was correct. The arena they used was the one that they spent a lot of time in during the old pandemic era with the Thunderdome. Looked a lot better with people in, we'll say. Let's kick this off then. The women's Rumble match I thought was the better one of the night, and they started off pretty good with that. A little bit more surprises than the men's one, I will say. The first, obviously the big surprise was Naomi returning at number 2. Quite happy with that. I mean, what? Like I said it's going to be a quick review. It's not going to be the shortest review in the world, but it's not going to be the longest. I mean, I'm not gonna rattle off the whole entrant list. I mean, somebody else will do that for you. A quick Google search will sort you out. I'll just give you the rundown. Did think that I'm very surprised that Jordan Grace. So it does seem like there's a working partnership with TNA, which always happy to see. She followed that up with expect to see a lot more. So that's nothing to complain about again. I mean, they don't usually do partnerships these days, but I mean, WWE, I'm all for it. Because we know AEW certainly does enough partnerships with everybody else, so not a bad thing in general. Exposes more talent to a bigger audience, etc. Fresh new matches, nothing to complain about, obviously. So who else do we have? We had, I just said Naomi. To be honest, the really big standouts in the Rumble sort of came towards the end, especially with Jade Cargill at number 28. I'm like, oh shit. That spot with Nia Jax, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. She's a star in the making. Surprised, well, I think she owns the license to her entrance theme that she had in AEW, so, I mean, it's just a license to print money. It's come on. You took one look now, you think, yeah, okay, that she's someone, and then she throws up Nia all by herself. She's made, and she hasn't even really started. So, again, I was surprised to see her in the Final 4. That I was quite surprised about. But, again, they're pushing her. So what can you say? I don't know whether it'll be this year, but I mean, it couldn't have been a coincidence. I'm sure everybody else called it. The background, or the back shot, watch my words when I say that, the image of the WrestleMania logo in the background when her and Bianca Belair stared off. I mean, it's an obvious WrestleMania main event. I mean, I don't think they're going to do it this year. Perhaps on the undercard, maybe. But that's easily a WrestleMania main event. Maybe in the next couple of years. Happy to see Tiffany Stratton get her spot. And she's going to be the centerpiece of the division in a couple of years, along with Jade Cargill. I mean, if this was the Vince era now, I got a little bit more to say about that later on. you took one look at Tiffany Stratton. I mean, it's not hard to see why, if Vince hired her or not. But yeah, she fits all the characteristics, but she can actually go in the ring as well. So again, nothing to complain about. Glad she had a little bit of a spot. And then Liv Morgan at number 30. I'm probably forgetting someone else who might have popped up or made a return. But Liv coming in at number 30. I mean, I didn't expect to see Mercedes Moné or AJ Lee. Wouldn't have shocked me. Would have shocked me, but not as like, oh, okay. Given what we would expected. But nope, it ends up, Bayley ends up throwing out to win the Royal Rumble. So I was quite happy to see that Bayley eliminates Liv right at the end. So I kind of was teetering back and forth between her and Becky Lynch. So I stuck out with Bayley. So I thought, okay, I've got one right. My men's pick didn't really pan out, and I'll go into that a little bit now. But no, Bayley wins. She's going to face Io Sky at WrestleMania. It's going to go one of two ways. They're either going to go the route of, oh, well, Io, I'm going to go for you, you know, challenge you at WrestleMania, keep the title in Damage Control. Yeah. Or they'll just turn on her before then, and then they've made a decision for her. It's going to go one of two ways. Still fully expect Becky Lynch to win the Elimination Chamber next month. She'll get a shot at Rhea Ripley. I still think that's the match for WrestleMania, is her and Becky. But it's definitely going to be Bayley and Io. Very, very happy that Bayley's finally got something that she can call her own. She's got a Royal Rumble victory now, so that's at least 3 out of the 4 horsewomen now who've got a Royal Rumble win. So I'm extremely happy that Bayley got the W on that one. Very odd placement of the next match, the Fatal 4-Way Universal title match. Again, there's not much to say about this. I mean, did anybody really expect the end result? I mean, I think we all called the finish and the end result straight off the bat. It was okay, Fatal 4-Way, nothing really spectacular to write home about. The mandatory Solo Sikoa interference is like, yeah, we've seen this shit the last couple of years now. It's like, we're kind of over it. Yeah. Roman pins AJ, and he's still the champion. Whatever. Same old shit. Excuse me. Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. I really enjoyed this match. And I think the finish is a bit of an indicator they might go at this again. Especially a DQ finish. I really enjoyed the shit they did going into that. I did find it very strange that the ref has now suddenly got a pair of eyes. They're the most fragile human beings who, I mean, if you just flick them or a gust of wind hits them, they're out cold for minutes at an end, and they don't see anything happening. So I was quite surprised to see him with the brass knucks on his hand when he's in the middle of making a cover. I'm not usually a fan of DQ finishes, especially on pay-per-view. That grinds my gears. But in this instance, I can see why they've done it. I think they're obviously going to run it back. Got no issue with that. I'd like to see more of these two. So, bring it on. I'm cool with that. I hate to give the devil his due, but Logan Paul is really good. I don't like the guy, but he's good at this shit. What else can you say? And obviously, very short match card given the 2 Rumble matches. The men's Royal Rumble. I mean, I did not think much of this match, to be honest. Not at least until towards the end, because I in my prediction video, I had 2 winners. And I knew exactly it was going to come down to the 2 of them. So everything up until that point was just, yeah, okay. Didn't really have any sort of surprises. I mean, Sami Zayn at number 30. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but you probably have. But, yeah, there was not much. The R-Truth bit did pop me. I love R-Truth. I will not tolerate any R-Truth slander. I did like the R-Truth one, when he made the hot tag. I was actually quite impressed with Braun Breaker. I do watch, well, I'm caught up with NXT in a couple of weeks now, but I do watch that quite often. I did like the spots that he was doing. He was just wrecking everybody. Surprised he's not on the main roster yet, probably after WrestleMania now. I mean, there's nothing else for him to do in NXT. He's going to be a big star. The Gunther situation, with the recent news that's come out about Vince, I don't think it's going to be Brock and Gunther at WrestleMania now. But there's a good little backup plan for Gunther that involves Chad Gable. I mean, they could always go back to that story. Don't get me wrong, it's not the marquee match that Brock and Gunther is. I mean, there wouldn't have been a match bigger for him for this year. But they could tell a story with Chad Gable. It's always a story to go back to. I don't see him holding on the Intercontinental title for that much longer. He's destined for bigger things. Or they could pivot around and turn to Sheamus. It's always a possibility of that. So I'd be happy with that if it's not going to be Brock. To be honest, they got a good. The roster is stacked, so they could pluck out a good one at any point. But I think maybe either go with Gable or Sheamus, given that there are natural stories to be told there with the Intercontinental title. I think it's a given. Otherwise, it would have been Brock. So that sort of cements him and his spot at WrestleMania. Comes down to CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Now, I was sticking with CM Punk to win. I was convinced, nope, Punk is going to win. And they're going to take the long route of Cody winning, perhaps an Elimination Chamber next month. They're going to drag this out. So then he'd finally get a shot. Finally finish the story. I was wrong. And Cody Rhodes actually ended up winning the Royal Rumble. I did sort of think, as they were leading into it, that they were starting to foreshadow this whole back-to-back winner thing. I thought, that's a bit unusual. Perhaps they're trying to throw people off the scent here. Like, oh, the first time, if he does this, he's the first person in 26 years since Stone Cold Steve Austin winning back-to-back Rumbles. I thought, okay, odd that they're now suddenly bringing this up, but no, I'm still thinking Punk. And then it comes down to the spot in the match where, just like McIntyre had done to Punk, Punk goes to, just before he hits the GTS on Cody. He takes a little bit of time to shit talk. I haven't waited 10 years just to lose to Dusty's kid. That's when I knew he was fucking losing. Because I thought, yep, they're going to go for the big climatic moment now where he thinks he's going to throw him, and Cody ends up throwing his ass out of the Royal Rumble. Cody wins. Surprised, but not disappointed. You come down to the final two, and I think it still sort of sets up the matches that I predicted for WrestleMania. If Rollins is now good to go. I don't know that. That's like a constant changing sort of situation, and I hope Rollins can make it for WrestleMania. Otherwise, it's going to be Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania. So, and I think in the last prediction we did that, I sort of predicted that Cody would win the Chamber, but I think literally just turn that around and just fit Punk in there. Just like Becky, they're both going to win their respective title matches at WrestleMania, before WrestleMania, to get into WrestleMania. As far as a backup plan, I mean, they could always do a contingency. I don't know if they want to add Drew McIntyre to the mix. I mean, I do think there's a bit of a story there to be told with McIntyre and Punk, considering they both got eliminated pretty much exactly the same way. I don't know. I hope Rollins can make it for WrestleMania, but I'm not too sure. It's a constantly evolving situation. I don't want to be a proponent. I don't want to propose, I should say. I don't want to propose a triple threat match. I mean, it would be very on brand, excuse me, for them to do that. It's like they done one at WrestleMania 20, done one at WrestleMania 30. Or they're going to do a WrestleMania main event, a triple threat match of Rollins, Punk, and McIntyre. I hope that doesn't happen, but it wouldn't shock me if it did, and especially if Rollins is hurt, maybe they figure him into the match, maybe they give him less to do, maybe then he can do the match, go off, rest his knee up, get surgery. I don't know. That's kind of an evolving situation. I don't really know, so maybe we'll find out more tonight on Raw, but I think you can see the key matches are all coming into focus for WrestleMania, and it's looking like a pretty strong card. So I was quite happy with the Royal Rumble pay-per-view in general. Yes, I still call it pay-per-view. It's ingrained in my DNA at this point. I will never call it the PLE, so don't complain, please. I do not care. Right. As for the presser. Oh boy. Ooh. That was my reaction to the presser. I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, some horrible, horrible shit have come out in the last couple of days. I expected Triple H to give the standard corporate PR response, or even a pretty red statement, just saying, look, before we begin, the recent allegations pertaining to ex-chairman Vince McMahon, so, yada, yada, yada. You know, I can't legally comment on anything. It's an ongoing investigation, you know, the legal proceedings, so I won't be answering any questions at this time. But there is an ongoing investigation, you know, anything to that effect. And just keeping it strictly to the pay-per-view. I mean, even that would have been better than what we got. I watched the presser straight after the show, and look, I'm going to be just brutally honest with everybody. I didn't expect him to answer anything. I mean, legally, what can he do? But just to focus on the positives, you know, we want to stay on track. We want to talk about how great everything is. I get that, but not even to even just say something to the effect of what I just said. Look, for legal reasons, I can't comment on anything. This investigation is being handled by the higher ups at TKO, and effective action will be taken pending results or outcome of investigation. That would have been fine. But man, the way he come off, it just felt like someone had spooked him. And look, whether he's read the 67, I've not read the 67-page list that's been released. Believe me, I seen like 4 screenshots of those texts, and for anybody curious enough, you can look them up. I wouldn't encourage anybody who's been through any sort of abuse or anything similar to that effect to look through that. That could be... It was quite graphic and shocking. I mean, I had to read some of it twice. I thought, is this like... You'd swear this shit is in like a bad parody film. No, this is some fucked up shit. And hopefully this will, well... The old man is not coming back after this. I mean, fucking hell. Throw his ass in jail, throw him under the jail. Fucking, he ain't coming back, but... Keep on track with the presser. I mean... Triple H wasn't going to answer anything to do with that shit. I mean, I get, like you said, I get that it's out of his hands and it's going to be handled by the higher ups at TKO. Legally, he cannot comment on anything. I mean, that's just a disaster waiting to happen if he was to comment on anything of the kind. But not to give, like, the standard corporate bullshit excuse. He didn't even say that. I mean... Look, I get that... I wouldn't have expected him to read 67 pages of that. Unless his lawyers have advised him to. I mean, if they told him to and he just fucking outright said, oh, well, I haven't read it. I think he may be in more trouble than, you know, that could come back to haunt him. But I want to believe that his lawyers have said, you know, look this over when you got time. But I mean, the shit that's in that, I mean, I would have expected he would have read that. So I hope he has, and he just come out with a lie because you put on the spot. I want to believe him, but I don't know. But he did not come off well. I mean, given the fact that this has been out like a couple of days now, well, slowly going on a week, you would have thought someone would have at least given him an heads up and said, look, Paul, they are going to ask the question. You know, we want to just give like a statement. I just don't understand why they didn't do that. Even that, I mean, look, the answers he would have given wouldn't have pleased everybody. Not in a position to do so, but at least that would have been something. For fuck's sake, even Cody Rhodes, I don't know why they asked Cody that question. even Cody, who is probably got a future in politics, based off the answer, not even just off the answer he gave at the presser, I mean, just in general, I mean, the guy is well spoken for. He handled that shit a lot better than Triple H did. I think Cody did really well, getting pretty much literally being thrown that question just out of left field. So, props to Cody for doing that. How Triple H didn't have at least a heads up, or at least the common sense to know that he was going to get asked this, doesn't reflect well on him. He looked quite spooked, and I hope that was just jitters, nerves. But pending, who's to say? Depending on what they find, I don't know. But he did not come off well in that shit whatsoever. So just put my 2 cents, because I've seen a lot of people saying, well, what do you expect him to say? You know, it's an investigation. He can't legally comment on shit. And he can't. But not even to come out and just say, legally, I can't comment on this shit. It's all out of my hands. It's being investigated by the higher-ups. Legal proceedings. Let's just stick to the Royal Rumble and the pay-per-view. I can't. My hands are tied. Sorry, guys. Even that, something to that effect, just, I don't know, word it up a bit. Even that would have been something, but didn't even get that, so, yeah. Not a good look, Triple H. Not a good look. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. I'm going to keep an open mind about everything, see what latest developments come out, but that is some horrific shit. Real horrific shit. Anyways, let's end things on a more lighter note. Cody's finishing the story finally, and if there's any doubt as to who he was going to face, they literally did not wait to keep that shit under wraps. They was like, nope, he's going to point to Roman. Look, I'm choosing you. Oh, blood. I'm choosing you. You're the one. Well, that's it. Story's going to be finished this year. Hope you enjoyed this review, guys. I might do a little bit more. Hopefully, I might get a little bit more up to date with the, current shit, like the blurring in the background. I might focus on that. Thumbnails. No, I'm just trying all this shit out again. Toying with stuff. But it's been a blast. I hope you if anyone watches this, I appreciate you watching. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you in time for probably the Elimination Chamber review now. I'm just going to stick to pay-per-views for now. Do like the other gaming stuff in between. But on the flip side, guys, I will catch you next time. Stay safe.